I created the fastest farm in Minecraft. Hello there, Ray here, and recently discovered how you can get infinite bedrock portals in 1.20. And in this one, I'll show you how to get unlimited portal blocks to make the fastest farm in Minecraft. So all you will need is an end dimension that was loaded before 1.20. For this trick to work, the dragon does have to be dead with the portal lit. Then upgrade your world to 1.20. Remember to always make backups when changing versions. Once updated, we'll then have to remove one bedrock block so the game doesn't recognize this portal. I have tons of bedrock breaking methods, which is in this playlist here, and they're not too hard to pull off in survival, only taking some pistons, TNT, some blast resistant blocks, as well as some low blast resistant blocks, and having a butted piston. Then you can come in and remove these extra blocks. Then just come in here and place blocks right in the center of the portal, and as high as you place it will determine where the new portal is placed in. Then you just need to place in an ender crystal, and then this will summon in the new exit end portal, which will also have the end portal blocks inside of it, meaning you now have two end portals. This new portal that's up at the top is now the portal which you need to use in order to summon in more ender dragons. With this, you can actually have the dragon flying around your main end island while at the exact same time having the portal still lit, so you can actually leave the end dimension at any time. This can be used with a combination of the tricks where you can get a frozen dragon as well as a dragon in the overworld without having to use my trick where you have to shove the dragon through the gateway portal in order to get a second dragon to relight the portal. And the dragon tricks still work in 1.20, and I'll have that video linked below. And when you kill the ender dragon, it will cause the new portal to relight again without disturbing your old one. But just as I showed you can get infinite bedrock portals, you can also get infinite portals that are lit. This is by saving the game and then downgrading to 1.19 once again and loading it up, but make sure to make a backup in case it gets corrupted. Then once this main end island is loaded in 1.19.4, you can save and exit. Then we load it up in 1.20, and then remember to remove a bedrock as well as add in some blocks in the center to move it upwards. Then once we place another ender crystal, it's going to stack another portal on top. And you can go ahead and repeat this process as much as you want. You can also regenerate the portal when in 1.19 as well as in 1.20, but you would have to resummon the dragon in 1.20 before downgrading, as this method only costs a single ender crystal each time, where the other one would cost 4. But why would you even want so many of these lit portals? One thing that uses a lot of portal blocks is sand and concrete generators. 8 years ago, I designed several of them, including this one, which is my ultra fast design, while also being extremely simple to understand. You've probably seen my other designs throughout the internet, as the majority of every single sand and concrete generator that exists today is a design of mine. Unfortunately, a lot of people forget to give me credit for it, so if you ever see anyone using any of my different contraptions or tricks, make sure to remind them to give credit to Ray's works, and send me a message so I can get in contact with this person as well. And if they do give me credit, also let me know so I can leave them a nice comment. But before I throw in a bunch of sand generators around all these portals here, what is actually the maximum amount of portals that we can place in before we reach the world build limit? But to get maximum portals, we would first need to actually start by placing the first portal at the very bottom of the world. So rather than going upwards, we're actually going to go downwards first by using bedrock breaking to break this original portal, and then break all the way down to the very bottom where there is just void. Then we want to get all the way down to just above the void, and you can use water and lava to reach this area. We need to place in a block, otherwise our portal will go into the void like I showed in the previous video. And all we have to do is place down a obsidian as well as an ender crystal, and this is going to generate the new portal. Instead of up there, it'll be way down here. And this is perfect because the portal blocks are at Y level 0. Now we want the second portal to sit right on top of this one, but not too close, otherwise it will destroy the current portal blocks we have. We can do this by removing one bedrock, so the portal will be just in the perfect location. And we're also going to remove a side block, so the game doesn't recognize this as the fountain once we get a few of them stacked on top of each other. Now we can do the same steps of saving and quitting, then loading it up in 1.19. Then once loaded, save and quit again, and load up in 1.20. Then just place down an ender crystal, and this will create another portal perfectly placed in so that the very bottom of it doesn't destroy the old one, but we also get another new portal. Then repeat this over and over and over again to get portals from the very bottom of the world all the way to the very top, a total of 128 portals. But with the actual portal blocks only being 2 blocks apart from each other, the sand and concrete duper won't actually fit in there. If you look at this whole build, you can see it's more than just 2 blocks tall. So I spent a few hours during my Twitch live streams compacting it to make it only 3 blocks tall. So leave a like and make sure you're still subscribed for the effort I put into it. This is as thin as I could get it while being simple, as we have a piston that needs to push the slime that will push this concrete block as an entity once it gets pushed up by this piston into the portal block, and the same piston with sticky will pull it back to reset it. The pushing up piston is also essential, meaning they've got 1 to 3 blocks tall, which was difficult to compact because this piston itself could try to get pulled by this slime block over here when this one extends. The way I solved this was actually pretty cool, actually have both of the machines synchronized so that when this sticky piston tries to pull this piston away, it's actually extended at that time, and extended pistons can't actually be pulled, so it gets left behind. If you weren't aware, this design also takes advantage of these corner portal blocks where either side takes turns duplicating, so we can duplicate 20 different concretes or sands all with a single portal. In my original design, I also had a duper here in the center, but because we have these portals stacked every 3 blocks, we'd actually lose out on efficiency by putting in the center one. I did not compact the design or make it leg friendly, just because this is more of just a cool concept rather than something that anybody would actually do in their survival world. The nice thing about duplicating sand at the exit end portal rather than the stronghold with its entrance end portal is that when we duplicate stuff here, it goes through this portal and gets sent to spawn, which is automatically being loaded when these new items enter the overworld. Unlike the end dimension, which doesn't actually load when you send items over here, only when players come. So you don't have to worry about coming over to end dimension and finding thousands of concrete items that would lag and crash your game because they all piled up. For this one, we can load it with just a single player, knowing that the spawn chunks are also being loaded and properly storing the sand so it doesn't pile up. But before layering this up all the way to the top of the world, I had to avoid any locational redstone problems. Because despite this piston and this piston both extending at the same 1/20th of a second, for my design to work, I need to make sure that this piston technically extends first, otherwise this one won't be able to push the sand in. So I had to use sub-GameTick redstone order in order for this to work, and different redstone components have different orders, so having these 2 repeaters in a row powering this will happen in the code, and then just after that are signals that come from a comparator plus repeater, which will come in and push the sand inwards. This sub-tick update order isn't necessary in most cases, but if you ever notice redstone acting odd in one location compared to another, then definitely check it out. Now, because it's important that both these machines work at the same time, I decided to run them off a single clock, which is just over here. It's actually pretty simple. There's just a clock that goes over here and powers these pistons down here, and then the same clock on the opposite side will power the top piston. And then that's just repeated on all 4 sides, and then we also take the signal upwards. So now that I got this working, let's go ahead and stack this to the top of the world. So I stacked this from the very bottom of the world all the way to the very top. You can't even see the top. This is how big it is. If you just drop from the very top all the way to the bottom. Let's go ahead and start this by putting a pulse into our clock, and it's going to slowly start it from the bottom, and as it goes through it's going to go upwards, and you can see the lag is starting. If I press Alt and F3, yes. You can see my computer CPU is having trouble running this. That's on the right hand side, which is ticks per second. But you can also see my graphics card is also having trouble rendering this. That's on the left hand side. If I look away, this will fix my graphics. But the only way I could actually increase my TPS is if I ran this on a server. Let's go see what it looks like in overall. I got my alt account on, and yeah, my computer's definitely not liking me running 2 accounts and also trying to record this at the same time. So let's go over here and check it out. So we're here in spawn, and this is at the world spawn point, and I had this system to collect just 1 machine, but with so many machines, it's impossible to collect it all. You essentially need a 40 by 40 area worth of solid hoppers, all running at max speed to pick up all the items that come from this farm. So the concrete is spawning in at the open gate here, and then just falling down, breaking off in the soul sand, and then burning in the lava. That way it doesn't lag out the game. The concrete and sand are coming in big batches with short delays between them. Now here in Overworld, you could choose to convert the concrete powder into concrete blocks. And I have a simple as well as a fast version of concrete converters, which doesn't even use a player to place in the concrete. But how much exactly is this farm producing? Let's head back to End Dimension to calculate it up. With each machine being 3 blocks tall, we were able to fit in a total of 85 of them from the bottom to the top of the world. Each machine itself is duplicating 20 concrete or sand, and they're doing this every 8 game ticks. That means just a single piston will produce 9,000 sand per hour, and 1 entire layer will produce 180,000 per hour. So having them stacked from the top of the world to the bottom world will produce over 15 million items per hour. This means the farm is producing almost 200 items every game tick. You would need a whole army of players in order to place this many items at the same speed of the farm producing them, making this by far the fastest farm in Minecraft, surpassing the previous fastest farm in Minecraft, which was my underload nether portal farms. Despite them producing millions of items per hour, it's no match for this farm. Now see tons more crazy contraptions I made in this playlist here. If you can help me continue doing this, become a supporter of mine either through Patreon, Discord subscription, or Twitch sub, with Twitch subs even being free with Amazon or Twitch Prime. Thanks to my current supporters shown on screen, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!